What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to season 2 of Bubblegum Connects right here on Bubblegum TV. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm, of course, Muchi for one baby, and she's right here.
And I'm the baby. I am Wendy Gumede, also known as the Black Wendy.
Okay, I guess everybody's favorite story and every love story is how we met. How did we meet, baby?
So we knew each other like online for years. And we interacted with each other and our content a lot. And we actually met physically on the set of the infamous Mukbang. That was our first time meeting in person when we sat down and shot that. Which was wild that people afterwards said that we have chemistry. And I was like, I don't even know him.
Though, to be honest. From the beginning, they were leaving the comments there. They were like, yo, you guys have great chemistry and whatnot. We're like, yeah, we worked together. We had a good time. Yeah. And we did. And we shot 2 parts of that mukbang. And after that, definitely people were all about it. I think we were kind of chilled about it in the beginning.
We were so chilled about it.
Again, because we just met for the first time ever. Although we'd follow each other online and we like each other's content and spoke over the phone many times. But they're one of those like, okay, is the internet just doing the internet thing? Yeah, I was trying to be careful not to rush into something just because people are telling you to do it. That's what it sounds like as well. Because I mean, of course, she's gorgeous, she's hilarious. So the attraction was natural. But I was like, you know, is it completely mutual? I couldn't read her properly at first.
I couldn't read you properly at all at first.
I was like, I know we're having a good time. It's a good time, right?
Yeah. Well, the internet knew what they were talking about, and we are now here.
The internet is really alright.
We've had many mukbangs since that mukbang. Now all we do is have mukbangs.
Right, but we, of course, we wouldn't date then because that was 2020 when we did that mukbang, and it was just a couple of weeks after my birthday. I remember she came to my house and she brought me a gift. She brought me this plant, and a plant has never died as quickly as that plant in my house. It was like a lily plant.
It was a lily.
Yo, I didn't know how to take care of this thing. I was overwatering it. It was just died an incredible death. Very, very quickly. Luckily, our spark didn't die.
Oh, baby.
Oh, Manji.
I can't stand you. When it comes to social media, it's actually an interesting thing because both of us work online. So like social media is our office essentially. And that's why we brought in content regarding our relationship like much later. And that wasn't even content either. It was just like us being on vacation and sharing pictures of our vacation for each other. Like it wasn't really a like, oh, we should probably like post on social media because people would love to see us do things. Like I don't think that we go into it like that. And even now, like when I post him or if he posts me, like my thought process is never the people who are consuming the content. It's more me treating it as something that I want to archive, like something that I want to share. It's like I'm sharing the love that I'm in, basically. I share everything else about my life. Like, hey, I ate this burger. Hey, I went on this road trip. Hey, I love this guy. Like, it's all like, that's how I treat social media. And I don't think that it has like too much of an effect on our relationship at all, actually. What do you think?
Yeah, social media, you know, I hate it. At the beginning, I remember I was very overprotective about our relationship and social media because we were both people that are known on social media. You know what I mean? So I knew the minute that people start talking about it or they see it, that it's going to be a conversation. Not that I thought, oh my God, we're going to be the shit. I just knew that, of course, our following, at least people that follow us, will be invested. Also because we saw what happened with the mukbang video. So it's in the back of our mind. But also I know that the internet can be annoying and can be weird. So right at the beginning of the relationship, I'm glad that we made a conscious decision we're going to be as private as we can be. Because when we went out, we just went out. Everyone would be like, oh, that's who Wendy's talking about.
Oh, no.
There they are on the date. This must be the boyfriend she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? So we're not hiding at any given time. We I didn't share any pictures publicly. But that was intentional, of course. Not like keep the internet rating, just when the internet is in the conversation and you're always online, you know that those things can start playing in your mind and then affect you getting to know somebody at your own pace, being comfortable with each other, not trying to take in comments from social media, and the good and the bad, because that's social media. They can hate you today, then tomorrow they're like, actually, I do love this person. Or they can be the opposite. They love you, you start feeling like you're flying and you're floating. They love you so much. Just love me, is it real? Tell me it's real. It is a feeling that I feel. You wake up every morning and you're just like, I'm mad.
Taking likes and you're like, yeah.
You're like, yeah,
Yeah.
they're running these numbers up, son. We in love out here, and they know, and they love. Then tomorrow they're just like, you guys suck. And then you're like, oh.
You keep posting these pictures. It's
Like,
tiring now.
what are you
You're like,
doing?
my relationship is tiring? Like, what do you mean? It's my relationship.
Yeah, people say
okay,
shit
we
like
get it. You get what? Like,
Yeah.
I'm at dinner with my boyfriend. And it was my boyfriend. Okay, it was cute at first. It's still cute
Yeah,
to
it's
me,
still
though.
cute, nigga. It's
What?
forever.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying.
It's like kids. You know, kids are like, mom and dad. You
stop.
kissing, stop it. Like, nigga, just fuck up a little bit. Don't talk, baby. People come into people's relationships like, can you guys show us more of this? Nigga,
No.
this is the PVR.
Absolutely
You get
not.
to pick the moments you want of our relationship and then fast forward. Yeah, only show me this part. This part is starting to bore me a little bit. I'd like to highlight here. Give me more breakfast content. I'm more of a breakfast guy. Your dinner content is not really for me. And also, less jokes. I'm telling you, like, you think everything is funny? Or what's that?
Exactly.
Like, what's going on the internet and controlling people's relationships? But I guess, everybody complains about everything, but we're all part of the problem at the end of the day also.
True.
Because you want to protect your own personal thing, but also you want to play around on the internet and be able to comment freely on other people's shit. And when you do it and it's outside of you, then it's whatever. What the hell are Kim and Kanye up to? This nigga's crazy. What did he say today? He's out of control. Kanye's losing his mind. Oh, Kim, is she losing her mind too? Like, I can say that all day, every day. I would never give a damn how it makes Kanye West feel. And then I get home and I'm like, hope no one says something terrible to me today.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So this thing on social media is tricky because we're all the problem. And every now and then we all pretend like we're the solution based. Which is where
A lot of murkiness happens.
that's when people start talking about, you must cancel this one. Wada. This is boring. Then you don't even know what we're talking about anymore. We started with a relationship question. We went to Kim and Kanye. Now, you know what I mean? That's the internet for you. You start you're here and you're in some happy mode. And by the time you log out, you're angry at things. You don't even understand what the hell is going on. So I think for me, being on the internet and my relationship, just to bring it back.
I was like, does he know what we... I was like, I wonder if he still knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, you know what we're talking
Yeah,
about?
you're good,
everything.
baby. Yes, you're good. Yeah.
We're talking about everything.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about, it's the internet. Like this is internet right now.
Yeah.
And people must, comment, like, subscribe, and don't do it with an attitude also. Just do it. Please. It's so weird. People come in and subscribe. Oh shit, I forgot to subscribe. It's like the number one instruction. How easy. Log in, subscribe. And then start watching. I don't understand how people do that. It's the way it is. They're like, see, I hate YouTube actually. I just realized that I hate YouTube. Hey, people are out here in the tide. Please subscribe, guys. Please. That's how you sound like you're in the desert. We're going to the oasis. And you're, please, guys, subscribe. Just one
subscription equals one bottle of water.
One subscription equals R1. I'm trying to get just one more brand deal.
I can't stand you.
What would you say though to when the brand came through and they said, can you guys, what would you say no to? Would you do a sex scene with me for money?
But that just happened. Like something like that just happened,
we shoot something
where
for
we
money.
shot something for a client. Well, we sent a brief at first, and we're just like, this is what we are looking at shooting, and this is where the video is going to end. And the client came back and they're like, oh no, don't let it end there. Interact with each other. And I was like, you're gonna have to pay a whole lot of money for that content. That's like something else. What are you asking us for, actually? So yeah, I say no when it just gets weird. When it's just like, no, that's not what I'm trying to sell here. I'm trying to sell your product. Your product has been sold. So now the thing that you're asking for is something else that doesn't belong on this platform. There are other platforms
I was like,
that belongs on.
Emmanuel.
Honestly, truly.
Tonight, Simon, about to get these checks.
No, I would never.
Personally, I'd like to say brands, I'm down for whatever. You know what I mean?
You're gonna have to cost someone to
Want to
help
see
you
more
with that.
skin? Let's go! How low can you go? I'm a baby bizarre. How low can you go?
Not low at all, actually. I'll stay high.
I know what you're gonna say, but I think people need to understand you a little bit better in terms of like what you actually enjoy doing,
Yeah.
or your discipline.
All the things.
But you're multi-talented.
Aibo.
So I'm a screenwriter, content creator, actress. But which, if you had to pick one, like where you're gonna be like, this is actually my wow.
My vibe is definitely screenwriting. I love writing. I love creating something from absolutely nothing. I love creating the world for myself, the context, the people, who the people are, how they interact with each other. Love that stuff. I love creating things from the ground up. I feel like something that I do most of that I don't particularly enjoy that much is acting. When I was in university, that was the point, right? Like I did theater and performance, I did film, I did writing, and I was like, I just want to be a superstar. I want to act. I want to be like in all the films. Now that I've actually been an actress like on TV in that way, I'm realizing that it's something that I'm really grateful for, but it's not something that I really enjoy. Like I don't want to wake up every day and go be someone else. I actually want to wake up every day and just like create something from nothing and be proud of the end result of that. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely writing. A career path of mine that was accidental is actually voiceover work. I never thought that I was going to do that.
Voice, baby.
Thank you, baby.
You know,
You sound tree,
Yeah,
baby.
even when you're angry at me, it still sounds nice.
But I didn't think that. I never thought that before. It's not something that I thought I'd ever pursue until I started doing the voiceover work, the Black Wendy VO, Zulu videos. And I had so many people, brands included, just being like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, we want you to be the voice of this. Like, right now, I'm like the official voice for Trace Urban, which means like I actually have a voiceover job, you know, which is not something that I ever thought I'd have. I mean, I not grew up watching Trace, but like when I was a teenager, Trace was always on at home, and I'd hear those announcers, and I never thought to myself, that person that just said the Migos. I want to be that person.
Happy birthday to the Migos.
Happy birthday, Beyonce. I was like, I can't wait to say I never thought of that.
Actually, that's
but
happy
I'm really.
birthday to the Migos.
No, you can't say to the Migos. The launch maybe of the group.
Good luck to the Migos.
And you also have a long catalog, babe. Like you also do a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Some of which are like relatively new even, that you found your stride in. What do you enjoy?
I do. Just like you just said, the voiceover is the newest thing that I've been doing that I also never thought that I'd be in that line per se. But I started thinking about it properly when I got into radio. Because that's when people really started complimenting, like, oh yeah, you're listening to your voice, whatever.
The callers, did they call and go, oh, this guy.
Place to be.
Coast to coast.
Don't forget to tune in between. I was like, maybe I can.
Maybe I'm good at this, kind of.
I can do
a little bit.
And that's when it became fun. So voiceover work is probably the latest edition of things that I can now say that I can, collaborate with brands with and actually make some money off. But definitely, I mean, I started in advertising. So not while you were studying that, because I was long finished my body. But I was in advertising. I did copywriting. So I wanted to be in TV and make TV ads. That was my only thing. I said, if I can just Israeli communications, growing up
we
watching.
all wanted to work Israeli.
Generations. I used to be like, what's going on here? Hey, where's the brand? Hey,
PowerPoint presentation.
Where's my PowerPoint? Now you're like, it's just nothing like Generations said. Nothing. Generations was a misrepresentation of the advertising industry, and I want them to stop. In fact, nobody does any sort of advertising work in Generations. It's just like a thing that happens in the background.
Yeah.
So it's central to the story at all. But we're always like, hey, it's busy here. I was like, photocopy. I was like, yeah, I want to make photocopies. And I made a lot of them. They don't tell you how many you're going to make as an intern. But working in advertising was always what I wanted to do. And I got a chance to do that, Studied advertising, majored in copywriting, and then went on to be a copywriter. But that was my taste into the entertainment industry. I was just like, now that I'm here, and I've always been that guy, now that I'm here, what else is going on in this room? That's kind of interest with me. So I was like, writing this for advertising, and I'd like for corporate companies. So I was just like, my English is finishing here. I don't have this many English bundles to keep writing. I'm running out of adjectives. I'm running out of, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, something a little bit more fun. I get a foot in the door, and then being in front of camera. Of course, making people laugh was always like the way to do it. So slowly going into that, then going into writing for a little bit of radio. Then next thing you're writing for a TV show. Then next thing I'm writing for comedy shows. I'm just like, actually, now I'm leaning towards making people laugh and being somewhere where my humor can be utilized is what I want to do. So personally, as it stands right now, being in front of the camera, being behind the camera is where I'm actually trying to put a lot of my energy in. Because, I don't know, as you get older sometimes, jokes.
What about stand-up comedy?
Yeah,
Like, would you ever explore that?
Yeah, I'm not against stand-up comedy, but I always feel like I'm just gonna do it at my own time or whatever. Maybe I don't even tell anyone because I actually have done some stand-up comedy, but I didn't invite a single one of my friends.
You're just
Yeah,
tasting it
I
out.
wanted to go test what it was, and it wasn't bad, and I did it several times
Oh,
at
really?
the same club. But each time I went, I was like, I don't want anybody that I know to come watch me do stand-up comedy. And everyone that was very helpful. Oh yeah, we've seen your stuff. Come step up there, do some stuff, and you do these like 2-minute slots, and it's not bad. But when I do it, I think you have to put your whole energy into stand-up.
You
'Cause
really do.
It's like a cheat code when you're doing 2-minute, 5-minute things. Because once you get the funny parts in, you're like, oh, I can just do these 3 jokes forever. You know what I mean? And you like at this same comedy club, they run out. It's like, do something else. Then you get lazy at writing. And then I'm still something that I've focused a lot of energy in, but it's definitely something that I feel like if I need to give more energy
You'd explore.
to. So getting behind the camera, but also doing a lot of more writing for people because I'm like, these niggas ain't funny. They need somebody to help them out. We watching shit. What? What these people say? These people ain't funny.
These people need me.
These people need me. So I want to spread my talents a lot more, and I want to be part of like communities of like young writers. I don't think like we take that very, very like especially comedic writers. Like we need to be like really, really rocking our content and writing.
You know where the
stuff.
comedic writers are? Twitter.
Yeah,
Like some of those people on Twitter need to actually write professionally because some of those threads, some of those one-liners, some of those thoughts processes, I'm just like, oh my word, this is like content that you should be paid for. This is hilarious. And then some people who are creating, and this is not just on a South African scale, I feel like we need comedic writers across the globe because what ends up happening is that people hire writers, like generic writers, to write for comedy. And that translates on screen. You're like, oh, I see that was supposed to be funny, but not really. But like comedic writers know how to get there.
Yeah.
And I think that we should definitely be investing in more young voices. Like young people online, on TikTok, on Twitter, those people just know what's funny and they know how to get there. So I feel like what you're saying of like creating a community of young writers, young comedy writers that are in the spaces that they need to be in, like in those Netflixes, in the DSTVs, in the Mnets, that could change like the scope of comedy in the country, I feel like. Instead of rehiring that guy who worked on that project and that guy who's been in the industry for 25 years. I don't feel like that should matter anymore in our country. But it really does. Like people hire you because they know you. Oh, you worked in Generations with Mfundi Vundla. Oh my gosh, I'm doing this new project. What? That's a different time. You know what I mean? So I do think that there has to be investments in young, particularly people of color as well, who are on the internet right now doing it for themselves. I really would love to see those people on bigger platforms.
I think definitely a lot more investment into it because it is a different world, and you see the disconnect. Sometimes you take people from social media, you're trying to put them on TV because they're funny there, then they're not funny anymore. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of translation. Some people are funny when they're at home by themselves, then they get outside, and then the personality is like, where is that person from TikTok?
And some people are funny when they can create their character themselves instead of being cast for another character that they have to embody.
And TV, what it does is that they take those people and then they try to turn them into TV people.
Exactly.
Because TV is like trying to get all the juice from the internet and recreate it, and they just fail 90% of the time because they don't know how to like take those people's talent and like let them be themselves on set. Then they start telling them about this is how we do things here. And it just feels uncomfortable. They're like, this is not how I operate. Usually I turn this camera on, I look
I'm
at
in my
the
bedroom,
camera,
it's low light,
I look through my phone, I'm like, that's hilarious. I say something, I cut, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of flow with my own thing, and you guys are trying to like, in this segment is 3 minutes.
Machine.
And it's like, what's this cutting me down to 3 minutes? Sometimes I talk for 30 minutes and find 3 minutes or find something hilarious. Like the relationship between like mainstream media and social media is, you see it every time.
Very true.
You see how now brands are trying to leverage off people playing on television. So they look for the funny people on Twitter.
Yes.
And then they just see what they're saying. And then they sit there with the copywriters in the room and the art directors, and everyone's like, and they're like, let me tell you what everyone's talking about on Twitter.
Yes.
Everyone is saying this buzzword, and they're saying this buzzword, and they're saying this buzzword. So take these 3 buzzwords,
write something.
Ad. So when people watch on social media, you'll be like, we get you guys, right? You see, we say what you're saying.
You don't really, because you're not hiring me to do it. You're hiring someone like me to do it. Like, I don't know how many times I've heard that, like people saying, like we really want to work with someone like Muchi. And in my mind, I'm like, just work with Muchi.
I
You know what I mean? And a lot of, we have people like friends in agency, and we've worked with like brands long enough to now know that that is some of the culture that needs to really, we need to leave that behind. Like if this is the person that you want, go for the person. Don't go for someone like that person.
Absolutely. I think they just show more love to content creators. Also give them a little bit more freedom. Ask them, what are you comfortable doing?
Yeah.
What are you comfortable doing? If you want to work with in this space that they are professionals in, that you are just trying to come in there and benefit from, let them have free roam. I think you should send more open briefs to content creators as well. This start like this and then end like that. Already messing with people's creativity because they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Just tell me the product, how to sell it, and let me send you an example of something that how I would want it. Because that's what you do. You logged into my thing, you saw me having fun about something.
And you enjoyed
like,
that.
Can you do that? But like for my brand, it's like, I can't. You just bring the brand here and then
give me the freedom.
And get out of my house.
But you know what that is, babe?
Do.
That's I feel like people who have the money need to understand that these people are experts. Like the people on TikTok who have millions of followers, or even not like millions of followers, who are trendsetters in that space, on Twitter, on Instagram, or whatever, they need to understand that those aren't just children. They aren't just kids, teenagers. They need to understand that that person is an expert. That person has been able to, that person has buy-in from 2 million people. That person has buy-in from 100,000 people. 100,000 people understand that this person is funny the way that they are. So I feel like with brands or people who then have the bags of money, they need to understand that I'm not approaching someone who's using their cell phone somewhere because they're bored. I'm actually approaching someone who understands the culture. I'm approaching someone who's an expert in the field of comedy. Because even comedy is changing. You know what I mean? Like Absolutely. It's like things are, like content creation is evolving. Storytelling is evolving. People are now telling stories in 7 seconds. You know what I mean? Like in 7 seconds, you get it. The punchline is there, the effect is there, and you move on. So I feel like those people need to understand that there's value in that. I feel like they need them more than they need
there's a shift from agencies because the agency model is slowly going to start dying and changing.
Yeah.
Because people are now sitting there going, okay, how do we incorporate these guys? Because first they've just hired the guys from social media now. And this guy who they found in social media was a social media manager who's supposed to be a social media savvy, who's supposed to help them, bring brands, right?
I hate the word
social
savvy.
Media savvy. I'm speaking like it's someone from agency now.
You're hip. You got it.
They know that
trend.
Brands are desperately, constantly taking them to, but you see what's happening on social media. You see how much money we're throwing here. And they're trying to take as much of that as possible and give as little as possible to the content creators, the people that brands want. Because they know that they're getting cut out of the equation slowly. Because now brands are going to think about, is it really necessary for me to go and talk to this guy? Why can't they just contact the Black Wendy directly and tell her we have this thing going on?
And that started happening.
See, now that's scary for everybody in the ecosystem. Because they're like, if brands are going directly to these guys, whatever people that they want. If they like Bubblegum Club is doing this cool thing, why don't we just go directly to them? Why must we create something else of a label in between us? Or these guys are social media experts. That's all they do.
Yeah.
Why must we hire somebody else who's going to hire them?
When we can go directly to them.
Because I've got creators that sitting there going, I have a great ad for Coca-Cola. And then it's like, but if you put all the red tape in between it,
by the time the ad happens,
it's just like it's lost
you
all
see
the
that,
value.
And then you get that feeling even from viewers, I see what they were trying to do. And for me as a creative, and even as a person who wants to have films or series one day, my worst nightmare is someone watching my content and going, I see what she was trying to do. I'd rather just you say, that was trash, I hated that, or whatever. Because that means I executed something and it just didn't work. But like executing something and like half-assing it, or like getting halfway to what I'm supposed to do is literally my worst nightmare. And I feel like a lot now there's content coming out where you are like, I see what they're trying to do, because we are on the internet. So it can't go above our heads. We know exactly what you're trying to communicate, but because you're not using the person that is responsible for that, it's not really hitting the way that it should.
Agency is scaring brands because everyone doesn't want to be in trouble in this age.
Yeah.
Everyone is scared of being cancelled. Everyone is scared of people saying the wrong things. But the people are approving content and they're smart anyway, because brands are trying to do as little as possible. The brand that comes out and says, you know what, I've got 2 million here. I'm going to go to 10 content creators and I'm going to give them 200,000 Rand each. And I'm going to tell them, guys, for the next 6 months, not for the next 6 months, for the next 2 months, 3 months, I want you guys to have fun with this new product that we're going. I see you guys creating content. What can you do?
Exactly.
For this thing? Your brief is you.
Yes,
we're going to take a chance here and say the brief is you. The things that those kids are going to create when that money is in front of them. And I mean, obviously you get to approve it first. But if you want to tell them, just be yourself, you tell me what's cool.
You'll be blown away.
Here, the brief is the amount of money I'm going to give you when you guys give me 3, 4 amazing pieces of content that are just natural to this one thing.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna see these kids going, none of these dealing with one person who's gonna call another person who's gonna call another person. Let's take all these 10 people out the equation, and I'm gonna tell you directly, here's this new shiny thing that we're trying to sell. Show me how you sell it.
I prayed that some of our best work that way.
Absolutely.
Freedom.
Because that's how
just
we
give
do
me
it.
freedom.
Crib,
trust me. If you're gonna contact me, trust me. So I know that like one of the things that we are looking forward to is doing our own things. So being brand aligned and being in the campaigns and participating on that level. But something that we have been talking about a lot, even before we met each other actually, was just this idea of creating something for ourselves, like from the ground up. Right. And I know that like I have this like project that you are helping me with this year. And for me, that it's exciting to think of a possibility of us even like joining forces and working together a lot more.
Like marriage, joining forces.
Hey, don't know about marriage.
Like legally joining forces.
Don't know about that. But you know what I mean? Like just more so on a professional level at first. See how that goes. And then see whether...
Absolutely. I mean, I've started creating content by myself. I've collaborated with many people.
Yeah.
I've been part of many other productions. And it's the first time in my life where I'm like, yeah, this person I can work with for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But also I can trust. Because some people are just like, some people don't even trust their own spouses. They're like, keep them there. I'm going to do my own thing over here. But someone that I can trust in creating a production together, I think it's going to be very interesting.
Right.
Like our own actual company, which is something that we already know that we're aligned at. It's just a matter of feeling it out and seeing where it's going
what
to go.
What that looks like, yeah.
And making sure that we can do the balance of both, you know, still maintain my baby Bunji. And be
still
like,
maintain flights.
Where is my invoice?
You're not getting an invoice like that, baby.
See, I already said that. You ain't getting an invoice like that.
If you like kick the door down in my office and say, where's my invoice, nigga? I'll say you need to close the door and try again.
But yeah, and that's important though.
Yeah.
That's the balance of working with somebody that you're also in love with. But I personally am looking forward to it. And I look at other couples in the industry, some that work together, and I always wonder, I wonder how that
works.
How that vibe is, that it's okay both for home and work, and that it clicks in. But and of course when brands come through, I mean, can you imagine being in a campaign and then a brand saying, please tell Wendy we actually don't want her to come through? I don't know. I was sitting there going, now what happens? Do we cut it when they don't want you halfway through the project? Do you tell me, baby?
I'm gonna need you to continue because your money is my money. So if they say we only want you and not Wendy, I'm gonna say, baby, go ahead.
Does that work the same? My money is your money and your money is...
No, your money is my money. That's the example.
So when they're trying to cut when they're trying to cut me out,
I can't hear you anymore. I don't know what the acoustics in the space is just, I can't hear you, no. But I think it would be exciting, baby, honestly, truly, though, to explore that. But I think for now, something that we have been talking a lot about is starting just at the scale that we have. So the Instagrams, the YouTube channel, potentially, and seeing how that works. And then actually talking about like what our production company or production space would actually look like. Like, is it collaborative with other creatives? Is it a film production company? Is it, how does it actually look and what do we actually want to achieve? But again, like to your point, I'm so excited to work with you. For me, honestly, this is exactly what I prayed for. I wanted to be with someone who is in the creative space. I wanted to be with someone who is funny. And I wanted to be someone that I can actually create an empire. Couples love creating empires. Everyone's creating an empire. Building an empire. But I really wanted that.
I don't want to take over the world.
I just want to live in it.
First of all, the world sucks. I don't want to take it over at all. I want the responsibility
of being the one that now owns the world.
I want to take over Mafia. Take over Maftown. Absolutely, I'm definitely excited to create with you as well. And this is exactly what I want. This is exactly what I didn't know I needed. You know what I'm saying? Because I always thought people in the industry together, I was saying we're going to clash. I didn't even know what the hell I was talking about. Yeah, it was just a clash. So every day.
And people say that
every day we're working together, clash.
I see you at work, I see you at home, I'm going to hate you. And I'm like, I don't think that's
because I didn't find somebody that I was compatible with. See, now it's home and away. And I'm glad we met at work. Because, then we got to New Year in that space. And then later I was like, do I love you forever? You want to collaborate on some kids?
Greatest collaboration of all time.
Come on, baby. I think also, outside of the fact that we met as creatives, that we both love comedy, that we both have big dreams in this industry, and that we just generally get along and super love each other. Is I also super love Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
We rep God.
I promise you, God till I die, till I'm 6 feet. Hopefully that's a long time away. But connecting, being content creators and also being both of us being Christian,
Yeah.
and both of us having that spiritual connection was like perhaps the most cementing thing.
It was the most important thing, kind of.
Yeah, it was the most
Yeah.
it was the thing that brings everything else together, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's what we lead with. That's what
Yeah.
we wake up and do every single day. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like just loving Jesus, praising him, lifting him up to the light.
Lifting Jesus up to the lights.
He is the light that lifts us up. Is that?
Yeah. And I think for me, what I really just loved about you is your relationship with God, and how he's the center of everything that you do, and he's the center of everything that I do as well. But like, as someone who grew up in a religious family, and went to all the churches, New Year's Eve, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down on your knees, pray to God, thank God for this new year. Like, that's how I grew up. And so I've seen like many expressions of Christianity, but like yours in particular, like your relationship with God is just so unique to me. The way that you speak about him, the way that you speak to him. I remember this one time I was like, I don't know what we were about to do or go or whatever. And I was like, we should probably pray first. And you led that prayer, and the way that you spoke to God for me was just like so. I was just like, oh my gosh, I want to be with this man for the rest of my life, because I want to pray like this for the rest of my life, So I really appreciate that, like, God is actually at the center of our relationship, at the center of everything that we do. And again, like you said, like he was the beginning, like for both of us as individuals first, like we had a relationship with God barely. And then, by the time that we started dating, it was just...
And I love that you brought me closer to God as well. Because I thought I was close to God, but now I wake up every morning and I'm very conscious about it. Because I have somebody that reminds me. It's like an accountability partner at gym. It's like a, what do you call it? Afterlife accountability partner. My afterlife accountability
When you're about to take
partner.
a shot, I'm like, about to take a shot. Have you taken a shot at prayer today? So, I see you lifting, but have you lifted Jesus Christ up this morning, baby? No, but you're also that for me. And I really love that. And that for me was my biggest, like, it was one of those things that were probably going to be like a deal breaker. Just because I didn't need you to be Christian, but I just needed you to believe, because I believe, So I love the fact that we're able to share that together. Jesus Christ Productions coming up. Jesus Christ.